What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today we just have a short PSA video that I wanted to go over about the new upcoming pack that Bandai is releasing for store championships for Vermilion Bloodlines. Now, some of you are going to be happy about this, others are not. I am a bit in between, and we'll kind of go over why, just because this is not... I don't feel like this is the best decision Bandai's ever made, and of course it's just another peg on the list of all the things that Bandai has done. So this is the Revision Pack 2020. This is to be given out as a participation pack for store championships, and it's basically a reprint for all of the eroded cards. Now, I don't particularly care for this. It's not a terrible thing. However, it's also not a great thing. The reason being what is inside these packs. So, for participation, it says you get 3 revision packs. I don't see that happening unless you are in one of the bigger stores, because none of my stores in my area ever got sufficient tournament pack prize support, let alone something like this. And then you get 2 champion pack 2020s and an event pack 6, which would be really cool. And then winners get 2 more revision packs, 2 more champion packs, 1 more event pack. And then they say again, 1 round buys will not be granted to the winner, as this is not part of the 2020 championship season, because as of right now there still isn't one. So when we look at this, it says 30 kinds in total. And yeah, there are 30 cards here. But the ones that I'm most perturbed about are the secret rares. Most of these are, you know, commons and whatever, so like it's not really that big of a deal. The expansion Goku and Piccolo, they're not worth anything now that they got the errata. Then we've got cards like Heartfelt Plea, that I can't say whether or not that will or won't hurt the value of existing Heartfelt Pleas. We won't really know, I guess, until we know exactly how these cards are going to look, because even though the card text will be incorrect, I put that in quotes, by the way, for gameplay purposes, there's still the original cards, and normally the original is going to retain value. Even if it does dip down a bit, it's still going to be the card that holds the most value, with the exception of certain rarities, obviously, alternate arts, whatever. But also, depending on the foiling of these cards, if these cards are like basic dog shit foil, then they may not retain as much value. First of all, the Secret Rare Gogeta and the Secret Rare Gotenks. Whew, oh boy. So let's talk about why we shouldn't do this. One, because reprinting Secret Rares, while yes, it does make them more available, and pretty much everybody will have those Secret Rares, the Gogeta, nobody's going to use that anyways. The Gotenks, be cool, but unless they are going to reprint these with, like, the super cheap regular foiling, then it's a bad idea. Even if they use tournament pack foiling on these, that Gotenks is going to look fucking amazing. So is the Gogeta. And actually, the Gogeta might look better than the Secret Rare did. But if it has a really good foil pattern on it, then, I mean, it's going to have value somewhat, but these revision packs aren't going to be necessarily too hard to get, and that could hurt the value of, you know, existing secret rares. We can already tell if we're looking at the art on some of these cards that the foiling, based on what we're seeing here, is different, especially with the Infinite Saiyan rares. All the coloration from the cards is kind of taken away there, so that might hurt the appearance of those, although nobody really uses those either. So, all in all, this isn't really... It's not really helpful to anyone except for the people that actually want them. One thing I will say, though, that does hurt all of these cards is the fact that if they are going to reprint these cards with the errata text. There's no chance at all that the cards will become unerrated. Now, whether or not that was actually a possibility is kind of up in the air. But, for example, the Goku Black leader, and here's where my bias comes in a little bit, but there really was no reason to errata him the way they did. It's not like he was super game breaking anyways. Yeah, people found a way to make him playable, but as with everything, it eventually gets swept out. But the real point is now the card is worse than it already was. And the fact that we found a way to make a set 2 leader playable in a format that is 14 sets in now, it was a good thing. It was inventive, it was creative, and I think that just kind of hurt the card altogether. Some of the cards where there was, just a mistake here and there that actually needed an errata, sure, those, needed reprints just for clarification purposes. But the ones where you change the actual ruling on cards, I don't know. I feel like those probably didn't need the physical errata, just in case there was any reason to kind of go back to the original text. What I'm not seeing here is that not all the errated cards are here. We are missing at the very least, Mecha Frieza. And I'm not quite sure. There might be other cards on the errata list that aren't here, but Mecha Frieza definitely is not on this list. So that's kind of odd that they didn't include him, unless they plan on, like I said, going back on the errata text, which would be even more bullshit if they did, and they're like, hey, alright guys, here's this Frieza back. You can have him back with his original toxic glorified text, but we're going to keep these other cards permanently watered down. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. But, like I said, some of these cards maybe needed an errata, but for the most part, most of these cards aren't even played either, is the thing. I mean, World Peace isn't played because it was hurt by the errata. Triple Flash isn't played because it was hurt by the errata. Although I think Triple Flash still has potential. We just need, more good Red Saiyan cards. Yes, Pan is a good leader, but if we get a better Red Saiyan leader, I feel like Triple Flash could definitely be playable still. Death Ball, nobody really uses. Heartfelt Plea, but I haven't really seen it being played a whole lot. That's really about it. None of this other stuff is played. Porunga doesn't get played. The Broly leader, perhaps, but there's just nothing on this that really shouts, hey, here's a new card that you can use. I feel like unless these are foiled to differentiate them, or they have a good promo foil or something, it's not really, not that it's not worth having them, but it's just not really going to accomplish a lot. The only thing this is going to do is potentially hurt the value of the pre-existing cards, and the fact that they're obviously more expensive, and that might draw their value down a bit. The biggest ones being Triple Flash, Heartfelt Plea, the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and the Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta. So, but let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this recent errata pack, the revision pack, and if you guys, if there's any other errated cards that we missed. I'm sure there are, but obviously Mecha Frieza is the major one that I noticed here. And while that card could have a whole bunch of text changed to it, oh, I just thought about it. It's possible that he's not on here because they're reprinting the leader. Now, I guess that still wouldn't make much sense because, well, it's possible Goku Black or Porunga or Super Shenron, it's possible they were not picked for the reboot leaders, for the second set of reboot leaders, and possibly Mecha Frieza was. But since they're separate leaders and both the old and new leaders still remain legal with the exception of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, maybe that's why they didn't. I don't know. That's speculation that's not doesn't have a place in this video. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any eroded cards that we missed that you think do or don't deserve to be on this in this pack. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get the frig out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.